and thank you for joining here today. This is a panel discussion. It's all about, I would say, it's a free-flow panel discussion rather than everything planned and scripted one. What we will be eyeing at is more like discussing on how we can actually put our efforts together and to bring on some sort of, bring a cohesion and make sure that data sharing is happening. What we are seeing right now is a lot of things are happening throughout the globe, in the region, and in not only in Asia, also in Bangladesh. We have seen academias working in different projects. We have seen government agencies are working. We have seen NGOs being working, and the tech people in Bangladesh emerging. I would say not emerging. It's more like tech industry right now. They are working together in a way where we're moving towards more sustainability, but we're not sure if the efforts are coordinated enough. So the main aim, as I say, that we're not eyeing at the opportunities, but exploring what we can do and learn from each other in a way. So going on to the discussion, I would rather say the panelists will be coming from among you, actually, the audiences who are there. We could have just have different people coming in, experts talking together. Rather, we're right now focusing more on how we can have an independent panel discussion kind of thing. So we have an initiative that has been launched not I would say not very much ago, but very recently. It's called People Aggregation in Resilience Adaptation, or PARA. So what we will be doing is more like focusing on the dialogues happening everywhere, in each and every sector. Trying to coordinate and collaborate all together different stakeholders of our community and different stakeholders from the industry itself. So just not going with myself, I will rather go with the panelists. I would like to call on stage Dr. Fazlur Rashid, meteorologist from Bangladesh Meteorological Department. If you can please come on stage and have a seat with us. I would also like to call on to stage Dr. Namara Bukadoki, our distinguished guest, and he has been working, I would say, for more than a decade right now with open data and open mapping movements and all together. He has different sort of experience with government agencies, out of government agencies, with NGOs, everywhere. So welcome aboard. Thirdly, I would like to call up on stage Ridwan from Bikash, one of our unicorn startups. This is not a startup anymore, it is becoming unicorn, and right now also working on maps itself. So please, if you can have a seat over here. I would like to call on stage Mr. Atikuzzaman Limon. Okay, he's going for his prayer break, so we will views on this. I'd like to call next Mr. Alamin Sharkar Taif. He is the Managing Director of Parikoi, the first ever map platform from Bangladesh. We're very much happy to have you on board. Now, what I would like to just have an introduction on what this session is like. Before we dive into the discussion, just an outline. The main objective is to highlight the transformative potential of open mapping and data sharing in resilience building. So when we're talking about resilience building, it's not only about humanitarian or development settings. It's about everywhere. Right now, we are living in an age of nexus. We need to actually, mix up things from development, business, from government to humanitarian. Everyone need to have collaboration, especially when we are talking about data initiatives, technology, especially. There have been a lot of examples. I think Namadai can talk a lot about that one, where businesses are coming in and having their techs supporting the non-profit organizations. And another thing is to identify the challenges and strategies to fostering the open data ecosystem. When we're talking about the ecosystem, this is not only about the data itself, but the community, the people behind it, and the technologies that can support the whole ecosystem. And third one is to inspire each of us to adopt and advocate for open data initiatives in our respective roles. So we would like to hear from you about how you or your organization can play the role for all the initiatives that others are having. Okay, if there is anything I have to be clear about, am I clear enough with my instructions? Yeah, thank you. So moving to the next part, what we will be eyeing at, it will be a panel discussion of around 25 minutes, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So the session flow will be more like opening remarks, and we will be asking from you. So one you can have your own remarks on what I have just mentioned on these points, and then we will have each of you will have more or less like 3 minutes each to talk about these initiatives and thoughts I have just mentioned about, and then we will have more like questions coming in within yourself. We want it more like an interactive discussion within yourself, and we want to enlighten ourselves from your discussion, actually. And later on, we will be also having some time to have questions from the audience too. And first of all, I will be an audience too, and I might be jumping in with questions. So I'm not wasting any time anymore. I will be asking you first from the left, Dr. Namaraj Bugatuki, to initiate the speech. Yeah, thank you.
So I think this is a very informal. I didn't know that I was going to do this panel until the last 5 minutes. It's very innovative. The innovation is just, we don't plan too much. So,
you have to play nice.
So that's actually good, huh? So that allows us to be informal, just a conversation. So you asked very big questions. I don't know where to start. I think your first question was, so how can you promote sharing? Is that correct?
Yeah, the first one is to highlight the transformative potential of open mapping and data sharing in resilience building.
Okay. And the meaning of resilience is not beyond humanity. Okay, got it.
And focusing on the nexus actually, not only when we are talking about resilience, it's not only about climate change and all the other stuff.
As I spoke in the morning, I have spent my life working in around open data, promoting it. I have no question in my mind about value, the transformative value that it brings to the society. So, yeah, it has tremendous potential, particularly I would say to the developing society, developing countries, because our resources are limited. So we don't have luxury to be spending our limited money and resources in collecting the same data again and again and again. So I have seen that in Nepal, I'm pretty sure Bangladesh or India, most of the countries. So one, government departments collect data. So, and then I've seen many other departments, NGOs, or businesses collecting the same piece of information. If we just have some mechanism to calculate the amount of wastage we get, it would be so disappointing. So we should not be doing that, But this is something that we have been saying for the last many years. Many governments attempted to develop what they call a national data sharing platform. Some of them are working, others are not working. It's not just purely technology, by the way. The young people just think you have a data sharing technology platform and then we have accomplished the goal. That's not the case. So technology is only a piece. Is human behavior, is incentive. I also work for government in Nepal. So data is also sometimes a power. I have data. If nobody has this data, I'm the most powerful person because everybody has to come to me. That's also the attitude that exists, not only in government, also in other organizations. For businesses, data is money. This is my money. Why do I give it to other people? Honestly speaking, so because this is wrong assessment, I'm talking very frankly, and I've seen these things. So now there are other things. Okay, I know many private companies are collecting data. So Marico, for example, because he also wants us to discuss these other. It's not just an example. It's everywhere, not only in Bangladesh. So every piece of data Marico collects is already money, or hopefully that will be converted into money in future, right? So he doesn't want to give access to his competitor, right? Basically putting everything back to ASM is also, he will comment on this. This is my view, but it also is valid reason from his perspective. If we ignore that, we will not make progress. So we have to accept that it's difficult for Marico to actually put everything back in ASM, and then the business will cease to exist, may cease to exist. So these are the real challenges, right? So I don't know. Sorry, I have to look at this because I can see. You can just go on. I will be coming in. You said you're going to be audience. Come here.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is a couple of things I just mentioned are very serious. Actually, unless you accept these realities, It's true that if somebody in the government, his promotion, his power, his career, right? If he has access to data, he can say he's the only one who can do it. And he goes to secretary or minister, get promoted, then that's real. We should not ignore these things. We should accept the reality. That's not. Right? So these are real challenges. What do you do about it is something I don't have.
I'll be cutting you short.
Prescription. So anyway, I pass it to other people, but I'll be very interested to hear other people's feedback.
Yeah. Now I would like to hear from Dr. Abdul Rashid. It's more about the same question what I was asking. One is highlight the transformative potential of open data, open mapping. I know that you're working in forecasting and weather systems. So initially people will think like, okay, what's the point of geospatial data straight away connected to the weather forecasting and thing, but we know that geospatial components are very much important because you have to know when, where, and how things are happening. So from your perspective, you have been working in the government agencies for a while now. You have been at so many forums till now where people are talking about data. People talking about they have data or they don't have data. You have been with youth who have been working together in solution development and stuff like that. So from your perspective, what do you think that the potential of open mapping and data sharing, and at the same time, what are the challenges you have seen? And I would also like to ask about what you are advocating when we are talking about the open data initiative.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, PMT is the only government organization. Our main work, all forecasting issues, cyclone, dealing with everything issues only a mandate of PMT. At the same time, we also produce a lot of data. A lot of climate data, basically storage PMT. Actually, PMT 1981 to up to good data set, very less amount of missing data here. But those are manual station, about 61 station, whole Bangladesh are manual station. Basically, this storage the 24 hours after data storage. But at present, PMT implementing a mega project. Under this project, about 225 automatic weather system established. This year, storage the data, so use data. Among this data is 15-minute interval. So use data we generated. We already established the data center. So I think that meteorological data is at present no problem. It is real-time data, though it is not free. But if you go to bilateral or any government MU, that we can access this data. And this data is very quality-full data and it is WMS standard. So use data generate every 50 minutes. So this data is very important in the sense that recent time we know that a lot of climatic changes, especially the disaster activity also due to the climatic issues. You know that last year, 4 cyclone on Bay of Bengal. Within 4 cyclone, 3 cyclone direct hit Bangladesh. And last one, last December, cyclone Mikjaum. Though it is the disseminate of Bay of Bengal, but after disseminate due to the depreciation hit Bangladesh that time and huge damage due to the agriculture. We know that especially the vegetables are prices rapidly high. Potato like that 70 kg. So here behind the climatic issue. So if we have good data set, we can OpenStateMap, this type of activity, we have prepared the disaster, and we can easily handling the crops, especially the crop hit, because you know that recent time the monsoon activity some changes. It is very alarming issue. You know that when the monsoon onset, especially the June, July, that time less rainfall. But after the late monsoon, October, November, even December, heavy rainfall occur due to the huge damage the crops did. So it is one of the issues at present. So in the behind we have large scope the working, especially the geospatial data. I think that if you especially the crops field mapping zone, we can easily handle this type of issues. In the future, this issue prolong in future. I think that because the monsoon activity changes, and also the winter time also changes the some climatic parameter. Like the winter time, the night temperature rise, day temperature decrease due to the pollution, also the transport pollution and dust particle due to the day temperature decreases, sunshine now decreasing. So here we think that the pollution, everything is also considered. This data also needed to our analysis, because we see the last 20 years the sunshine are decreasing. So I think that this type of data we also consider. So I think that at present data is not issues, especially the meteorological data. Need to the cooperation in the different sector. I think that we have the good work and we can good team. Because I don't know because also important the weather data. I am very extreme. He said that when the some area due to the heavy rainfall, their market fall. Behind so it is my new experience. This data not only the meteorological natural disaster also needed because this type of prominent interfere on businesses. So I think that it is a good collaboration need to. So I think that it is a better further improve this type of activity.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Abdul Rashid. Rightly said that not as we were speaking about the collaboration itself. It's where we are staying at right now. It's on the nexus. So we have to go through the collaborations with different sectors. Intersectors have to collaborate with each other, but at the same time, businesses, government data sets, weather data sets, and at the same time, non-government entities have to collaborate within themselves with the data. And this is where we are trying to find out that if one of your data can be used by the other, and how they want to have those data being delivered to them, and how you can share with them in a respective manner. So we have Atikuzzaman Limon sir over here, or okay, it is not there. So next goes to Taib, I guess, with the same question. As I said, the transformative potential of the open mapping and data sharing. So we know that business data are always being just sensitive, but still, how these open mapping things can benefit businesses, and your data can benefit the open mapping part, and later on used for what you say, data for good in a way. Yeah.
I think there is a misconception of open data being free, because open data means that data is accessible in any format, being paid or being free. Most of the time what happens is that whenever we talk about open data, is people think about openly available, which is like free, you can download it and use it. That's something, and that's never going to happen, because for me, open data is transactional. If it's a network effect. So if some sort of data actually benefits me and someone else as well, we will open it, or any business will open it. If I take a simple example, two FMCG companies, operate in a different industry. One probably in they sell milk, and another in cosmetics. But 90% of their outlets are technically the same. And they are not competing as well. So opening up that data to each other would actually help them and benefit them over a period of time, rather than competing over who have more data. And that's what we sell, to be honest, to FMCG companies, that if you come to us, the data is accessible by a mean of a price. That's how we make money as well. But if you join the network, you're gonna expand your network by from 5% to 15%, depending on that. So for me, open data has to be transactional. That people needs to understand that maybe it's openly available to consume by any means, by free, by payment, but it should be very transactional from my end. This is what I think. And on the other side, businesses, as Dr. Nama said, as Sir said, that you can link everything to everything, and you can connect the dot. For example, Sir said that because transaction goes down. I know I work with at least 15 different industries on a monthly basis, and we analyze their data as well. Not only, Sir, because transaction goes down, murgi dam bere jai. Because I know how the supply chain of how the supply chain works. So if there is a heavy rain, trucks would not unload their crops or livestock at the hub, and they are created scarcity. That's how you can connect, let's say, saying weather data to the logistics and transportation part. So if you can connect all the data points together, it actually creates a nice picture. And then comes the talk of, let's say, okay, I'm going to create a network of open data where it will not be open for the public, but at least for the members of that particular group, and then we can benefit out of it. So for me, it's very transactional. It's very simple and very transactional. Once we can connect, it becomes open for everyone. People understand the value of it, that why should you open? Because I work with banks as well. So banks will always come and tell us what sort of data other bank has. And then I ask them, are you going to share your data? No, hell no, we cannot do that. So if you can't do that, why do you ask me the same question, that if I have the data of that particular bank? And then I said, okay, let's do one thing. Let's pour all your data together. You both access your data, and then see if you can get some sort of, maybe not very transactional, but can we get something out of it? Still, they don't understand it. But I think we are there. After 2 years of advocacy, we were able to convince 2 banks to share data internally to see whether it works. So the open data concept needs to be solid at the first place. That is it transactional? Does it gonna help in any transactional manner? Maybe money, maybe on the other elsewhere.
Thank you, Dad. Now we're starting talking frankly. Open data, we're talking about openness, but at the same time, it is transactional. Because if we think about this event itself, when Bariko, Bikash, or everyone is sponsoring and supporting the whole initiative, there are investments. These are investments. Investments done for what? Done for something, to bring something good out of it. So if something good comes up with these, all these people are gathering and talking about data and open mapping things, new data that are coming in. Businesses may be using that one, NGOs might be using that one for separate purposes, but at the end of the day, this is all about creating the use cases. Use cases might bring monetary transactions, use cases might bring what can you say, as I said, something that is cannot be quantifiable, like doing good for people itself. Now I will be turning into Ridwan from Vikash's side. I will not only ask Ridwan from Vikash's side, but also I know he's a planner himself, so I would planner himself. So in terms of that too, not to, I would like to hear about how this open data, open mapping thing can help out when Bikash is working, and at the same time, as a planner, what do you think about having this sort of good bit of data coming into? Yeah, so it's up to you.
Okay, thank you, Tasod Bhai, for giving me the chance to discuss here. So basically, I want to start firstly about Dr. Nava in the morning said that the next decade would be the effective use of data. So if we want to do that, the most challenging part is the data sharing and connect the dots that I've said. Here you can say that you can say or see that here we can assume that this is our community. Okay, the humanitarian or the non-government agencies and the government agencies and the business entities. So you can see that there is we can assume that there is 5 entities here. So the most challenging part is to connect these five agencies. If you do that, then we can better get this effective use of the maps and open data and so on. So basically, so how we can do that? We can actually we are exploring for and these type of collaborations and community organizations and meetup can bring up these focus discussions to how we can collaborate with Barikoi, how we can collaborate with government agencies and humanitarian agencies and also the community, how we can better feel that every country or every organizations or whoever in Bangladesh, how we can impact in the resilience fact. So basically I'm deep down into the resilience fact that in the resilience word, the most effective part nowadays is the financial inclusions. So every kind of disaster or every kind of problem or anarchy move to the resilient part. So here we say that there is huge kind of financial inclusions needed to support the community and support the affected people. So from the Bikash perspective, I want to share some thought about that, because from the perspective of Bikash, we want to add the focus in the financial inclusions in there to support from community, non-government organization, government organization, and other business entities. So from Bikash perspective, this is our focus to do in the financial inclusion part in the resilience in the module. So if we have to give the opportunity to financial inclusions and financial support to the affected areas appropriately when we need it, that's the massive good work for us, I think so. So it is our plan to collaborate, but we don't know how we can connect. We are exploring the dots currently, how we can share with the BMD, how we can add with the humanitarian organizations, and how we can add with the Barikoi and some other businesses, and how we can collaborate the effectiveness. Then I can say that from the urban planning perspective, basically I am an urban planner. So basically we focus on the people and their lives, and we want to design the cities as per resilient and as per most safest places for the people to live in. So basically there is a for the urban planning fact. So we need the data mostly. If we don't have the data, if we don't have the open data, then we don't know where we can put the facilities and where we can put the people in the safe places. So basically, for the urban planning perspective, we need to connect this dot, and we have to share data each other is in terms of technology's perspective or in terms of data transfer, that type says. So from the technology perspective, I can add something that we have the best technologies in Bangladesh. Currently, we have a 500 technology team people around working in the Bikash cluster. So we are continuously talking about this theory, concept, how we can connect with the geospatial data to other technological terms, then we can transfer this resilience fact. So I can iterate in the last that we should explore our problems and how we can mitigate these gaps between us. We are the private agencies, but how we can collaborate with the government agencies and MMD agencies. This is the most challenging part, and currently we are exploring that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rudra. The most intriguing part is everyone is talking here about this. Everybody is ready to share something out here, but at the same time, what can be the intersection? Where the intersection lies? Where we need to be together? In which point? So, OpenStreetMap platform and at the same time, OpenStreetMap communities are trying together to build up this cohesion and collaboration intersection. Kind of, we are trying to do that. Like, if we think about the global perspective, Namadai can reiterate what I'm saying. Right now, what we have been seeing that tech giants like Apple, Facebook, like Meta and others, Microsoft and others, they are also putting in efforts in sharing their technologies to support building up new tools and technologies to the open mapping platforms like ARC itself, collaborating with the platforms within themselves. So, same way, are we thinking about the intersection can be the technological sharing? We have been talking a lot about the data sharing part, but at the same time, are you guys thinking about our local businesses? Are they thinking about sharing the technological know-how and technological, we can say, endpoints with the community and these sort of non-government initiatives to create some hub where data sharing can be possible? Or as I say, we're trying to get into the intersection, so where the intersection lies. And at the same time, we're missing one stakeholder over here. We were trying to get one from the academia itself. So what we have seen in the community, there are a lot of students. A lot of students are working together, like on networks, and at the same time, in recent times, we have seen a lot of innovation hackathons, and everything is happening. They are trying to build some solutions and everything based on the data. We have seen machine learning models are being generated, especially in forecasting and other disaster risk reduction initiatives. But as I say, every time we have been, stuck in the point where we don't have adequate data to train if we think about the machine learning and AI models. But at the same time, as I was mentioning again and again, the intersection point, we have to find something out. So what do you think? What can be the intersection point? Based on the global experience from Namadai, I will ask Namadai first in a way that where businesses in Bangladesh, not only Bangladesh, in Asian perspective, we have seen Grab and TomTom and others also chipping in with a lot of support systems. So how localized businesses can also chip into to this sort of interventions and create the intersection point itself. So We're trying to get the ideas. As I said, we're not finding any solutions over here. We're trying to find out ideas to explore, and then we want to go further with those ideas. Please, Namaste.
Yeah, I agree with what our friend from Vikas said. We're already making progress, by the way. You know, we're together in the same panel. We're sponsoring the events together, and so it's much better than a few years ago. So now I know you wanted to finish this session in 25 minutes, so I don't want to make it long. So one thing is, you know, the conversation is important. And once we have conversation, we also learn about each other's perspective, each other's constraint, and then, as I said, I repeat, we need to respect that. Sometimes we make a mistake by, oh, they're not sharing data, they're not good. That doesn't solve the problem. They may have some reasons why they're not sharing it. So we need to understand that. Have conversation. Maybe if they cannot share everything at once, maybe they can share maybe certain things, right? If TIFE cannot share all the database in place, and maybe there are certain things that you can share. Begin with that. If you cannot share regularly, maybe you can have some time lagging. So if you're really worried about the competitors accessing the information, maybe every 6 months or every year, you can put it maybe, at least if you have a year advantage, just say, something to think about. So, yeah, I would say conversation, respecting each other's constraints, and then start with something what is practically possible. Not just have this utopian view of, not just create step up. So looks like we're making progress. I'm very optimistic. And then I just want to mention a quick one, and then I pass it to you. So the heart, so everything our organization heart develops sorts of is sharing and openness is in the heart of what happens. Whether it's data, whether it's technology, whether it's anything. Right? So we really love to open, share, and we really want others to use that as much as possible. So that's our number one priority. The second one is we also use a lot of term localization and ecosystem. So in fact, when we had the Dhaka Tribe project in Bangladesh, I told our project manager from the day one, Harry, he's not here, I told, so just engaging a bunch of mapping guys and producing map is, that's okay, but think beyond, if they're a private company, they are interested in, if they're a government, others, anybody, I have also convinced this with World Vision. So this World Vision and Heart is a partner. This is not just a two-organization project. We are very, very open, and World Vision was also on board. So we are very interested to see, can we create some kind of embryonic ecosystem, very small one, huh? So university is there, they produce students, they train, the government is there, private companies are there, maybe they see some value out of the data, that's fine, In the past, we were a little conservative, as a tell us. So the Western community was also a bit conservative, We only work with Western community, we don't work with private. That's not good. I disagree with that. So how can I create that local ecosystem? Also, how can businesses simply generate value? Maybe if that makes enough money one day, now he's in the early stage, he's a figure of competition. He's very, very rich, maybe he will put some money, at least a CSR money back, kind something, So let's think that way, right? Helping business thrive is in fact good. So that's what I think. Conversation, and be practical. If we ask them to share because everything you have ever put, curated data back to us. Apparently they are going to do that now. But is there a minimum set of data that we can put? Maybe they might think about it. So these are my couple of things.
Yeah, so we are going into the way forwarding section straight away. Thank you, Naman.
Actually, at the end of the day, we are working the poor people, young people, very vulnerable people. So this platform OpenStreetMap, that's when data also should be open. This is our main target. But here some officials some promoting like that, especially the student who are supervised MA student or PhD student. That's the data stream because he is working with our research purpose, and students also very nominal money spent, but still pushing here the commercial part because we are established 225 station. It is the world and run station. Government lose money spent. So government basically don't empty the pool open. So government need to be, because government pay use money for the station. The world and run money. So data is open, especially the student. I think that very less amount, and we are supervised there free, but also some. But when we are MU, when the proper way, then we are very flexible because at the end of young people is a beneficiary from the data. So I think that it is no problem. I think that this type of gathering we can discuss our higher authority how open the data. Because this is the new data set and it is very qualitative data. I think that at the end it is very helpful to the people. Because at present you know that a lot of climatic disaster, you know, any past one, it is very horrible situation. So we have good data set, but you do not use this type of public cannot beneficiary. So we should data for general people because this type of activity, the heavy rainfall activity, especially fast flood, at the present time it frequently occur because 2020 Rangpur 2 days rainfall occur about 600 millimeter rainfall. After 2 years, 2020, Sylhet 1 day 300 outbreak. So in future this type of calamity again come. So we should prepare, especially for the geospatial analysis, because otherwise we cannot do a good result. Because we have good data set, but if you not use, actual data is meaningless. So I think that it is a good platform. Data shared. We need to policy. We need to discuss. Student because at here use the student and young generation. So they are welcome for data. I think that I tried in my personal opinion. I took very less amount of income, and if a special the work is very good, maybe data is free. I think that. So it is no problem. I think that we are open. We are welcome everybody. I think that is no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Badruddin. We have a small opening over here also that meteorological data is already available, but though it's not free and sometimes it's very expensive. But for the students and researchers, there is some opening where we can go on and find those data in a moderate way. Yeah, I'm going to you, Taif. What should be our way forward in this way?
So the question was basically what can be the inflection point where we come together and then share some data. So for example, we have some open data freely accessible in our website. I'm sure that we know that not everyone does because we don't publicize it that much. Probably because we are still at a very early stage. Second, if they start accessing a lot of open data from our platform without downloading it, that will cost us a lot of money as well. So the inflection point is basically understanding what data to use. Basically, building a data company means that what you do with the data not actually the data itself. Because even if I give you like whole Cox's Bazar, what are you going to do with it that matters? What is the transaction that's going to happen using it, right? Searching is a transaction, sending a police card is a transaction, doing like KYC here is a transaction. So what are you going to do with the data is important. So for us, or the community, I think the inflection point is that where to agree, like what should be out there, what is need. So the need should be put in front first. That okay, I need this sort of data, where can I get it? And then if the other company, or maybe say Bikash, if I need something, I can just query them. Opening up that query portion at the first place would be the first inflection point that okay, I can actually ask if their data is shareable or not, because currently that is not the practice. So if you want to start sharing data, for example, from the meteorological department, I need an email or some outlet where I can go and say that, sir, I need this XYZ data, can I get it, or how much can I get it? Like how many parameters can I get? Would that work? If it does, that's good. If it doesn't, then we need to figure out talk more. Can we get that? Share a little bit more. So a platform like that would be more important. And as Dr. Naman said that it is a progress. We're already talking about it. Maybe going forward, we will actually collaborate on our own. Although I collaborated with them very long back, but yeah. So inflection point is basically whenever the first intent of get reached out is important. So if we can open that up, I think it's good. That is the first point, and then we start talking about it more.
Yeah, just going to with one. We have only 2 minutes probably.
I just in a few words that the interaction point or the situation, how we can handle this. I just say we have to understand why we need the data, geodata especially, not only that. Because if we go to the government companies, suppose we go to Raju or SOB, where I might query that I need this data for this purpose. They actually give me a sheet, paper of sheet. Here is your data. You can check it and use it. So basically, what my point is, so what is geodata, and how we can use that, and how we can share that. So to understand this, first we need to educate ourselves. Every community, every person, non-humanity organization, government organizations, private organizations, especially you can say that in Bikash, not everybody know about geodata. We actually every day we educate peoples, technology peoples, management peoples. We actually educate them how geodata can create impact in your businesses, and how we can leveraging the dots. So first of all, I need to iterate lastly that we need to educate everyone why we need geodata and how we can use it. So I think this is our first step. We have to educate. We have to collaborate each other about the geodata. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ridwan. It is a, I would say, intriguing discussion we were having, but at the same time, the time has a limit. What I said earlier, this discussion is more of an informal discussion. We want to start the dialogues, start talking about things that need to be done. So at one point, we have a consensus, more of a consensus over here, that we need to find out the use cases. We need to educate ourselves with the use cases. Who is doing what? Why this data is needed? And then collaborate with each other with those specificities. We have seen a lot of time that Navodai have been saying that be specific with what you are asking for or what we want to say. This is more like this, that when we are talking about data, especially geospatial data, if we talk about the students and everyone, they will say, okay, we want to, we want you to dump everything out there, and we want to download everything. It's not going to happen. So first of all, thank you everyone. This is a dialogue we want to start. I hope it will not be the last one. We will be continue these conversations in future, not only on stage but off the stage, and we will see a better future coming in and more resilient future coming in with all the collaboration and the cooperations we are having. Thank you. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.